Well, let's get more on this. With me in the studios, Pablo Navarrete, co-editor of the Latin American political publication Alvarado magazine. Pablo, welcome to you. Thank you very much for coming in. Let's talk about what's going to happen at the UN today. They're going to debate a draft resolution which we understand will say, as conditions in the Republic of Venezuela continue to deteriorate, the Security Council expresses its full support for the National Assembly as Venezuela's only democratically elected institution. What do you make of this debate today? Do you think it will have any impact in Venezuela?
No, I mean, I'm sure Russia will essentially veto. Russia and China have clearly come out in support of the Maduro government. And I think ultimately it's pretty lamentable that what appears to be quite a shameless and unconstitutional power grab by Juan Guaido in Venezuela is being supported and promoted by the US and a number of its allies in the UK and now France and Spain have given Maduro 7 days to call elections. Otherwise, they say they will recognize Guaido as the president of Venezuela. I think we have to really step back and look at what's happened here. A guy who, until a week ago, was known by less than 20% of Venezuelan population, has proclaimed himself president unconstitutionally and has been recognized by the US. We now know he met with the US in mid-December. And so this is the latest stage, an escalation of a regime change planned by the US that's been trying to overthrow the Venezuelan government for more than nearly 20 years now.
As you said, though, it's not just the US. We've got Spain, France, Germany saying that unless there are elections, then they will recognise this man as well. There are clearly concerns internationally and many Venezuelans as well who are unhappy with the presidency of Maduro.
Sure, I mean, there are many people that are unhappy with the Prime Minister Theresa May. It doesn't mean that a minor member of the Labour Party can declare himself president on Oxford Street. So that I think we have to differentiate between the crisis, which is very real, desperate, my family live in Venezuela, and a regime change. I mean, you can be against the government, but look for a political solution, which is what has been tried. Ex-President of Spain, Zapatero, spent 2 years trying to get a political solution, which was very close, and at the last minute, due to the US interference, this didn't come to fruition. That's the only solution for the polarization that's taking place in Venezuela. It certainly isn't a military coup headed by the US, which, as we all know, has a sordid history of military intervention in Latin America with hundreds of thousands of people dying as a result. That will not be the solution that will be good for the Venezuelan people.
So you're clearly opposed to what's happening internationally, and as far as whatever's going to happen in the UN today or not, as you said, Russia likely to veto this. But what do you think should happen now then with a crisis, as you say, in Venezuela, with the fact that Spain has spent 2 years trying to negotiate some kind of change, with so many people in poverty, in starvation in Venezuela, with the country pretty much close to collapse, many would say? What do you want to see happen next?
It has to be what the process that was being promoted by a number of regional countries, the process which the Uruguayan government of today, of the Mexican government of today is promoting, which is talks between both sides and a political solution.
But is President Maduro open to those?
Of course, he always has been. It was the opposition that did not sign the agreement that was pretty much done in February last year. They walked away at the last minute after 2 years. And if you look at the declarations of the ex-Spanish president, he was highly critical of the behavior of the opposition after 2 years. And so it looks like the US is attempting to detonate any attempt at a peaceful resolution and instead want a military solution, which is going to end up with hundreds of thousands, potentially, of Venezuelans dying, as has happened in Colombia. Look at neighbouring Colombia and what happened there. Okay. 50 years of civil war supported by the US government.
OK, Pablo Navarrete. We will see what happens in the coming hours, days and weeks, of course, with this. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.